Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Tonight I'm going to do some frequently asked questions. I'm going to go through comments that you guys have left on the channel, and I'm going to try to answer with the best of my ability and as quickly as I can. And we will call this a rapid fire, go through 4 or 5 topics, and it'll be under 20 minutes. If you're interested in this sort of content where we deep dive into questions left by you guys, then first of all, leave comments with the word question in them. Second of all, put your IGN in there, your in-game name, so that I can send you some sort of thank you as a result of, if I answer that question. And lastly, like and subscribe to the channel because we do this every week. Okay, guys, let's get into it. But before we do, my name is Dwayne and I go by Infidel1258, and you can call me 12. And we cover Splinterlands all day, every day on this channel because it's changed my life. Thanks. Get into it. Okay. So, first question. I like this. AJ said, hey Dwayne, imagine an ability called Devotion that absorbs the damage dealt in the front lines. With this skill, you can put your fastest and squishiest cards in the front. What do you think? I think that sounds awesome. Like Devotion or Sacrifice, or what might be another phrase for that? Like, even it could be like Sacrificial Lamb or something. And the idea would be that you put like a glass cannon, something like the fire monster exploding dwarf. Imagine you could put this card in the first position with blast damage and a good amount of melee, even at the lowest levels, with one hit point, and you could put it in the front where it can just do slug and just do damage, blast, piercing, retaliate, trample. And or the exploding rats, which is the more modern version, blast, redemption, true strike, and they would be untouched until the taunter got taken out. I guess that would be something like taunt, though. Would that be too much like taunt? Maybe. I love it. I love the. It's almost like if we were just hanging out around a fire and we were just friends enjoying, a meal and like a conversation. This is the sort of thing I'd love to get into and just back and forth about like what they might do. I want them to do one major thing I want them to do with the game, which is not exactly related to your question, but in keeping with just this back and forth that people might do thinking about the game and exploring how it could be changed. I wish the battle could be altered and it would elongate the game, but hear me out, where every single round you get 5 or 6 actions. Like you pick your team, they pick the team, the game is about to start, you press brawl, and then you get moves like a turn-based strategy, as opposed to an auto battler, which it is already, where the monsters fight one another and it's totally totally automated. Instead of that, you would see screen would load up as it is right now. I'm on the top and he's on the bottom, and then I have the option to go ahead and click on move. Maybe even if it wasn't activate this guy versus activate that guy, because the speed would still dictate in moments where it's his turn. No, not his turn. Let me think of an example. Okay, so let's imagine it was Scavo Chemist's turn, who has the cleanse. Why can't I decide who gets cleansed? Why does it have to be the tank? And there's other things like that too, like triage or repair, where the game just decides who has the most damage and therefore applies it. But I wish it was more intentional. That would be so cool. I know it would slow it down because you'd have to, at every move, at every sort of moment in the blockchain would have to ask you, what you want to do, and then you'd have to wait, and maybe you wouldn't submit your action in time, and so possibly it's too much work. But I would love a game like that, where it was more interactive and more thoughtful and more intentional, and therefore I think more strategic. So food for thought, but I love your idea too, man. Thanks for the comment. And I am going to send you a little something. Okay, next question. Yellow 61 drops all kinds of questions now. Thanks, my dude. Question: which older cards do you think one of would be good enough to pick up for the wild format? Now, I did kind of answer this question already. Yellow, thank you for dropping. Last time you didn't drop his IGN, so thank you. I did kind of answer that in this video, but I am gonna try to give you a quicker version right now. Okay, so first of all, what you want to look at is you want to look at alpha versus beta. So alpha has all the cards that beta has. No, sorry, beta has all the cards that alpha has, but beta has a few more because beta has neutral monsters, whereas neutrals. Oh, yeah, it does. You look, beta has neutrals, but alpha does not have neutral, and so they are otherwise identical. And you can find monsters that are in both. You should consider for all of your favorite splinters. If you like red, look at red. If you like green, look at green. If you like, and so on. But you should look at all of the alphas and all of the betas for your favorite splinters. And I can't say which ones you should buy, but I can tell you that there are a few good ones that one BCX would certainly be helpful. I would say, would one be good? Nope. Maybe I would take a Kobold Miner for 2 mana, and you could use it with Tarsa, and it's going to get up to 2 attack because of Tarsa. Maybe. I would think about that. If you had a Jotun already, I might consider the Demon, the Fire Demon, for the 4 mana, because you're going to go up to 3 archery damage due to Jotun. That's regular. That might be it for the alpha and beta for the fire team. I like one of the Spineback Turtle if you're playing at low levels, because I find it's got a good amount of hit points. You know, for 4 mana cost, it's quite durable with the 2 shields and the 6 hearts. None of these are exactly. That's kind of cheap, actually. I might even say it's $3. I might even say try and get up here to 12 copies so you get the thorns. You could play that in silver. Medusa is very powerful, especially at the stun level, which is 5 of them, which is playable within. That might be playable in bronze at level 3 there. Is that? Forget if bronze allows level 3 rare or not. But this is stun is huge. And 5 copies of it at you're talking $50 kind of thing. And keep in mind, you know, you can, in the old version, you're going to be able to play with Alric, which is one thing you might want to consider. Maybe you do want an Alric if you found the right price for the right one. You know, what is level 5 here? Wow, that's pretty expensive. Okay, I'm going to say nope, no Alrics. Green. I like. Maybe I would get 1 Magi of the Forest, because the 4 mana cost is going to give you the 3 magic damage with your obsidian. And it looks like, you look at the bid price on the alpha, that would be if you could bid that for $21, $22, you'd be getting it for the price of what the beta. Worth thinking about. Yeah, those are. I'm finding it a little bit sparse, but I'm giving a few hints, right? 1 Silver Shield Knight is a great thing because it's got the Inspire at the lowest level. It's one of those things you're going to put in the 4th or 5th position on those battles where your melee can attack from any position. Possibly 1 Feral Spirit, or even just getting it up to where it has 2 melee, which is the level 4. It's so fast. That's the advantage with this guy. 1 Divine Healer, preferably bait alpha, because the cost differential is so nominal. So I would lean towards just getting 1 of the Divine Healer from the alpha version. 1 Peacebringer, like you already said. Possibly. Would I get 1 of these? No. So expensive. Good card, though. That's about it from white. What a, oops. From death. I'd get one Twisted Jester. For $10, I'd get one Twisted Jester. This is a good card. It has snipe, and the new chaos. There's a couple of Chaos Legion cards that have snipe that make them that could synergize very well with this card. And if you want to get it up to 5 copies, you get that extra archery damage. So I would, if you felt like it was, you know, look at that, $40. If you felt you could afford $40, I think this is a very strong card. 5 hit points, 3 speed, 3 archery, and you would use it in conjunction with a couple of the Chaos Legion snipers. Let me quickly show you. 2 magic snipers. I gotta get rid of the alpha beta. There's one, the Magi Necrosi. This is a snipe, and it goes up to 3 magic pretty quickly. And then there's one more. It's a Untamed, I think, come to think of it. This one's kind of expensive, but I might get that one too. So you get triple snipe, and 2 of them are magic. And this one has silence at higher levels, which I love. And that Necrosi one I just showed you has stun. So that's what I would do. Twisted Jester. Now, Dragon. No, those are all too expensive. Neutral. Possibly a few of these giants. At least one would be a reasonable thing if you're playing in bronze. And I would consider perhaps getting one of the Magi, just one, maybe. But that, I know that's getting a little expensive. So there you go. I give you about, what, 6 or 7 different cards. Those are the ones that I figure are the cheapest, that also are going to move the needle with, you know, increasing the effectiveness of your deck. Okay. A little something. Thanks for the comment, Yellow. Okay, let's try and get a couple more. How long did the general sale for Untamed and Dice last? I actually don't remember Dice, but I can tell you pretty clearly. In fact, I can Google it so we're more accurate. I'm pretty sure Untamed. When did Untamed? No, that's not. There it is. The SPS token release begins. No, that's not right. Here we go. Splinterlands Untamed came out in November of 2019. And so then we sold out. I want to say we sold out in like August of 2021. So it was about a year and a half or a year and 3/4 before we sold out on this. But if you're thinking that's going to take as long for Chaos Legion, I mean, we've already sold 50% of Chaos Legion. I don't really think that's the case. Where are we at on Chaos? Yeah, we're at 7.25. I mean, I think we're done this by May at the latest. So we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. And I'm sorry, I don't know about Dice. Yuki says, I'm interested in the chart about summoner versus summoner. Yeah, win rate. I'm going to work on compiling that. I need to collect more. I need to run more tournaments and, you know, put that data together in a way that's manageable, comprehensible, and conveyable, like communicable. So I'll definitely. I don't see summoners' names yet, so I couldn't tell. I'll get it together, Yuki, but it's going to take some time, bud. Thanks for the comment. How do I join your Discord channel? Henning Nilsson. All you have to do is go to any one of my videos. Your channel. Hey guys. Go to my videos. Any of them. Going to have Instagram? Gonna have right in the comment section. Go more. There you go. Discord right there. HTTPS Discord GG time and attention. There you go. Come on over. We got about 800 people in there. Come join the conversation. Let's get 2 actual questions. Giovanni says, hi Dwayne, what will I do and how can I profit in Splinterlands if only have $50 US budget? I can't afford to buy any deck for my account, so I'm only renting in silver gold. That's good. If you're renting in if you're using your if you're able to put your investment to work in a way that allows you to rent successfully somewhere between silver to gold, I think that alone will slowly translate into the accumulation of assets, which will be meaningful. But this is a lot of work. Renting in that way to be cost efficient takes a lot of time because you have to bargain hunt every week for those rentals, and when they get pulled from you, you have to find replacements, and they have to be useful replacements. So that's a problem. If you feel that you can do that and navigate that in a way that is affordable, more power to you. I would say you should spend the $50 budget on a couple of summoners. Like even just getting one of your summoners to level 2. You could do that with Sloan. You could buy 5 copies of Sloan for probably $12. And then you've made a permanent change to your deck that will begin to start you down a path of building assets in this game. You could do the same thing with Tarsa, or you could do the same thing with Kelia Frendel, who is maybe my favorite of all the rares. And that's probably, $40 right there, $30, $40 right there. And then, $10 for your account. And maybe I would just stop and just play the game at the bronze level and slowly accumulate. It's going to be slow. It's going to be slow. And you might not be willing to wait that time to make it trickle in at, one chest a day and to give you a 10% chance of the card in each chest. That's what it would be percentage wise as an opportunity. But if you set aside, if you're willing to, I guess, submit yourself to the enjoyment of that process and just say, this is fun, and I'm just going to let it be a form of entertainment with no deep expectation of a massive price appreciation, I think in a few years you're going to be surprised how much it has appreciated. But that's what I would do. I would just get a couple of the basic summoners so that you're beginning to make permanent changes, positive changes that are going to have ramifications for the growth of your account. And you said you're planning on buying 10 packs on Hive because it's cheaper, and then holding the packs until they sell out. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's an investment approach. If you did that, I think you are going to be rewarded. I think those in probably a year or even sooner, but I'm going to say within a year, the pack of those values is going to be, the value of those packs will likely be greater than the $350 you spend on them. And then maybe you flip that value and you put it into the game. That's an interesting play. My first suggestion about getting summoners is more maybe perhaps prudent and certain. What you're doing is more of a speculative play, but I like it. In fact, I'm doing it. I'm still sitting on 5,000 packs or something like that. So I mean, I think you get it. I think you've got a good strategy with your renting. You've also got a good plan with your investing. I think if you keep thinking about it the way you're currently thinking about it, and you just keep trying to find ways to stretch your dollar, that's what it's about. You want to get the max reward for the minimum investment, and there are paths for you to do that. So keep doing what you're doing. And thanks for the comment. Let's get one more comment or question like that. Okay. Can't you just get a strong modern cards for cheap and use them for both? I think the old cards would lose value because they'll be limited both in where they can provide power and where they'll be playable. Blaudis, I strongly disagree. Okay, so there's a lot going on in that question though. So the first thing is, let me answer the first part. Can't you just get strong modern cards and play them in both? Yes, you can. And you should. If you don't get any of the old alphas or betas or promos, or even the old reward cards, you absolutely can sometimes test out how you can perform within the wild format, and you should, and maybe that'll work great for you. I think you might struggle because you're going to be hitting a wall where there's going to be certain limitations that you're going to lack certain abilities that others there will have, such as, Alric, who's an amazing overpowered magic summoner for the blue team. The summoners is probably maybe the easiest way I could demonstrate my point as clearly and quickly as possible. Alric is one of the most overpowered summoners in the game. People who have been around usually have a copy of him. You won't. That's a huge difference when you're coming into this thing with Celeria or Vera Celicia, who's a fine summoner, or if you're coming at it with even with a Kelia Frendel, you are outmatched. You know what I mean? Alric is 3 mana and is all the power of an Obsidian, but better. Because this blue water team is hugely magical. Like the amount of monsters on that team is crazy. So you're absolutely going to be outgunned in certain batches. But some percentage of people that play in the wild will be like you. They will lack all the old cards. So you're going to have some success, but you're gonna struggle when you come up against teams that have places summoners like Alrek or any of these guys, that's for sure. And then some of the old monsters, some of these old legendaries that you're obviously not going to have either, which are so good. Get away from the summon. Yeah, like look at these guys. The Phoenix is amazing. Lord of Darkness, Gold Dragon is ridiculous. Oh, and Hydra. This card is definitely one of the best cards in the game. And then there's some amazing epics. This one is really powerful. The Mermaid is one of those blue magical. So you're going to run it. The Banshee is really powerful. You're going to run into some trouble. And if you had some of these, you would do better. That's what it comes down to. You can probably have some fun. I'm just saying, if you want to be really successful in the wild, there are certain cards in here that are going to be meaningful. And as we pointed out earlier in the video, you would want to go through and look. If you're interested in kind of shoring up those holes in your deck, you can come through and you can look and see what's a reasonable price and what would be available in the Splinter that you would want to play. And maybe one or two of them are really, really meaningful. I really think of all the ones I mentioned previously, I really think that people are going to benefit by having a copy of regular white of the Divine Healer, Alpha or Beta. It's the same thing. The Peacebringer. And then from the green team, I really, really like. Oh, it's a promo card. No, it's a reward card. The Wood Nymph. And maybe the Vulture. What? The Vulture is one of the best. I forgot about this card. It's one of the best opportunity cards in the game. At level 4, which is still super cheap, you can get it for $8. You can get two melee damage with the opportunity and the flying. And if you're playing in gold, you can get up to the Scavenger. So actually, I think that might be silver. Anyways, that's an amazing card. So there are really good cards in here that you're not going to have access to. And the Mushroom Seer, I didn't mention the Mushroom Seer is so good. Okay, so this is kind of you do need to look at the promo. And I was previously looking at Alpha and Beta. You're going to want to look at promo and rewards also. The reward cards that have this kind of shattered look are Untamed, or they're more modern. They are included in the modern format. The ones that don't have the shattered appearance are going to be part of the older. Look at specifically this one. It says R for reward, and it does not have that shattered appearance. That's going to mean it's an older reward card, and it will be playable in the wild format. So have a look at that. And I do think some cards like the Mushroom Seer, which has silence at level 1, are so good. And then the Wood Nymph that has tank heal at level 1, and the Vulture that has opportunity and 2 damage at level 3 or whatever it was. So there's some great cards there, and every single Splinter has a similar story. Like I said, I gave you 2 or 3 for the white team, give you 2 or 3 for the green team, and some of those other ones for earlier in the video. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for your time and attention. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments below. If you want some more content or you want greater access to me, you can consider joining the YouTube's membership channel and support me on one of the various levels that are available there. And either you'll have extra videos or you'll get one-on-one video chats with me on a monthly basis. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day. God bless.